all you YB fans, you bitch ass nigga better block me today, nigga. This little bitch ass nigga on this whole payment, doing all type of shit. G Money been said you was a hoe. Finna get on that Fredo shit, nigga. Stamp you niggas. Nah, for real.
NBA YoungBoy just straight up checked this Dallas rapper in a way that shocked everyone. The leaked clip is wild. It shows Montana 700 getting pressed by YoungBoy and his crew backstage at YoungBoy's own concert over some old disrespectful comments that came back to haunt him. This whole thing is wild because Montana thought he was safe since he wasn't even well known back in 2021 when he dropped that video. But the internet never forgets. And when those old clips started making rounds again, YoungBoy made sure to remind him exactly who he was dealing with. I got all the inside info on how this went down and how one old video ended up costing Montana 700 his reputation and nearly wrecking his whole come-up. This situation got messy fast, so let's break down exactly what happens when someone tries to disrespect Lil Top. A random dude tried to play the king and learned the hard way that not everyone laughs it off. To understand how it got this deep, we gotta rewind to December 2021. That's where it all started. Around that time, NBA YoungBoy dropped his Black Ball music video, and wow, it had the whole internet talking. In the video, YoungBoy switched things up, rocking dark makeup, black nails, and some artsy looks that had people unsure what vibe he was going for. Some fans thought it was creative and different. Others were just confused, throwing out all kinds of opinions online. But no matter what anyone said, one thing was obvious. YoungBoy wasn't afraid to do his own thing and stand on it. This was NBA YoungBoy, one of the most solid rappers in the game, stepping outside the box and trying something new. But Montana 700, who was just a small-time rapper from Dallas with barely a few thousand followers, saw this as his big chance to blow up. He really thought clout chasing off one of hip-hop's biggest names would make him famous. The nerve was unreal. Montana went online and dropped a full video aimed at his followers, saying anyone still supporting YoungBoy after seeing him with painted nails wasn't real to him anymore. He laughed through the whole thing, throwing shade, calling YoungBoy all sorts of names, and trying to tear down his image like it was a game. He acted like he could question a man who's been proving himself for years, all just to get attention. And the disrespect ran deep. This wasn't just about the nails or the look. Montana was trying to question YoungBoy's identity, his toughness, and his status in the rap scene. It was pure clout chasing, trying to build himself up by throwing dirt on someone already successful. What made it worse was the timing. At that moment, YoungBoy was already dealing with serious pressure, legal drama, music industry setbacks, and everyone watching his every move. For some unknown artist from Dallas to jump in and kick him while he was down, that was straight up low. But here's the truth. Montana 700 wasn't anyone major back then, and he definitely didn't realize the storm he was about to bring on himself. No hits, no buzz, no real recognition. Just another up-and-coming rapper trying to stir up controversy to get noticed. Montana 700 probably figured YoungBoy would never even see that video, or if he did, he wouldn't care enough to respond. But success has a funny way of bringing old drama back to the surface. Fast forward to 2024 and 2025, Montana finally started picking up a little traction in the Dallas rap scene. Nothing huge, but enough attention to get people talking, and enough for fans and critics to start digging up his old posts. That's when that 2021 video came back around like a ghost from the past. This is how the internet really works. Once your name starts buzzing, folks start digging deep. Every old tweet, clip, and random comment gets pulled out and analyzed. And Montana's old clip about YoungBoy? Oh, that was perfect drama material for people looking to spark chaos online. Soon, the video was everywhere. Hip-hop blogs, fan pages, Twitter threads, Instagram accounts, all reposting it non-stop. Fans were tagging both artists, waiting to see what would happen next. Some were joking about the old footage, while others were curious if YoungBoy had ever even seen it and how he'd react if he did. Montana probably thought he was safe by now. It had been nearly 4 years since he said all that. He was just focused on making music, growing his fan base, and trying to lock in his spot in the Dallas scene. But once the internet starts digging, there's no hiding from what you said in the past. The last thing on Montana's mind was that old video where he threw shade at NBA YoungBoy. But that's exactly where he slipped up. He underestimated how long YoungBoy holds on to disrespect and how seriously he takes his name in the streets. In that world, there's no expiration date on disrespect. Time just doesn't wipe it away. If you cross someone, it can always come around. What made it even more intense was the timing. The clip started trending again right when YoungBoy was at the top of his game. This wasn't the 2021 YoungBoy dealing with court cases and industry drama. This was 2025 YoungBoy sitting firmly at the top, unstoppable, with a massive fan base and the confidence of someone who proved every critic wrong. When you reach that level, old insults hit different. It's no longer about what was said, it's about the message behind it. Montana had taken shots at him back when YoungBoy was facing tough times. And now that YoungBoy was back shining, it felt like payback time. Things were about to get tense. On September 2nd, 2025, everything came to a head. It was supposed to be a normal night. Montana's close friend Huncho Amir had just gotten the call to perform at YoungBoy's Dallas show. Montana decided to tag along for support, thinking it would be a fun night to celebrate his friend's big moment. Montana probably thought this was his moment to make connections, maybe even clear the air if YoungBoy still remembered that old video. In his head, he might have been ready to apologize, explain that it was just immature behavior from years ago, and move on respectfully. But that's where he seriously miscalculated. He didn't realize how much that old disrespect had actually stuck with YoungBoy. See, when you're dealing with someone like you, boy, a man who's faced music industry pressure, courtroom struggles, and endless public criticism, every slight gets remembered. Every person who tried to bring him down during his roughest moments gets mentally bookmarked. And the fact that Huncho Amir, Montana's close friend, had a performance slot at YoungBoy's show, that just added another layer of tension to an already risky situation. Amir's performance was supposed to be a huge win for his career, sharing the stage with a superstar like YoungBoy. But his connection to Montana was about to cause trouble that no one saw coming. When they pulled up to the venue, Montana was probably feeling proud and excited, chilling backstage, surrounded by top artists, soaking in the success of his friend. It must have felt like everything was finally turning around.
The mood was likely all smiles, people congratulating Amir, the crew hyped up, and Montana enjoying the shine from being part of it. But behind the scenes, things were already in motion. YoungBoy had already seen that old video. Either someone from a circle brought it to his attention, or he caught it himself online. But he knew exactly who Montana 700 was and what he said years back. That was the night Montana 700's past finally caught up to him, and it happened fast. One moment he was backstage, probably soaking in the excitement, and the next, he found himself face to face with NBA YoungBoy himself. Sources close to the situation say YoungBoy approached him directly. No sneak moves, no indirect talk, just straight up confrontation. He wanted to address that 2021 video right then and there. There were no subliminal messages or middlemen involved. YoungBoy walked right up to Montana and made it clear he hadn't forgotten what was said about him years ago. The air must have been tense. Montana trying to explain himself, maybe saying it was old drama or a joke gone wrong, trying to cool things down. But in moments like this, apologies rarely erase what's already been said online. Once that disrespect is out there, it doesn't disappear. That's when things got heated. Witnesses say YoungBoy's team stepped in, and the situation quickly turned physical backstage. Montana found himself completely unprepared as the confrontation escalated. It wasn't just about throwing hands, it was about making a point. The whole scene was chaotic. Montana left stunned and embarrassed, realizing how one old video had spiraled into something he never saw coming. In hip-hop culture, getting pressed like that in public isn't just about getting touched, it's about reputation, pride, and image. Getting publicly embarrassed like that wasn't just about getting pushed around. It was a way of saying, you're not even worth a real fight. That kind of moment cuts deep. Montana's whole reality probably flipped in an instant. One minute he was an up-and-coming rapper chasing his dream, and the next, he was getting checked by one of the biggest names in the industry, right in front of a crowd. The mental impact of that kind of scene is no joke, and the fact that it all went down at YoungBoy's own show, surrounded by his crew and possibly other music insiders, made it even tougher to swallow. Montana wasn't just being confronted, he was being shown up publicly in front of people who could decide the future of his career. That's the kind of moment that can shake a person to the core. But here's where things take an unexpected twist. The entire backstage incident was reportedly caught on camera, and that footage landed in the hands of Say Cheese's owner. Now, for those who might not know, Say Cheese is one of the biggest hip-hop media outlets out there. They're famous for dropping exclusive clips and breaking stories that get millions of views. Now, everyone expected them to post that video and blow up the internet. It had all the ingredients for viral chaos. But what shocked everyone was the decision that came next. Instead of uploading the footage for clicks and clout, the owner made a rare call. he decided to keep it private. His reason? He didn't want to make things worse or spark unnecessary drama in the streets. That decision right there showed just how serious the situation really was. Say Cheese, a platform known for posting wild, exclusive hip-hop moments, decided to hold back on this one. That alone tells you how bad the footage must have been. Word aims, the clip showed Montana getting completely embarrassed in a way that could have wrecked his career before it even had a real chance to take off. The choice not to post it also showed major respect for the culture. The owner clearly understood how fast something like that could spiral out of control. Once that kind of video hits the internet, it develops a life of its own. Fans start taking sides, arguments break out, and before long, it turns from a misunderstanding into full-on chaos. Say Cheese made the rare move to keep things from going left, showing maturity in an industry that often thrives on controversy. But the fact that this footage exists and is sitting in the vault of a major hip-hop media outlet added a whole new level of pressure. Montana definitely knows that video is out there, and just the thought of it being dropped at any moment must weigh heavy on him. One upload could wipe out whatever credibility he still has left. The silence around that clip speaks volumes. Even though the video itself never hit the internet, word about what happened still got out. Whispers started spreading through the blogs and hip-hop pages. Everyone wanted to know if the rumors were true. Then came the moment that confirmed everything. NBA YoungBoy suddenly reacted to it online. When blogs began posting about the alleged backstage incident, YoungBoy liked those posts. By liking those posts, YoungBoy sent the clear message, not just to Montana, but to the entire hip-hop world and anyone else who might ever think about testing him. The message was loud without a single word. It was, I see everything, I remember everything, and it's already been handled. That silent move spoke volumes. In fact, this kind of subtle confirmation can hit harder than any public statement or flashy post ever could. YoungBoy didn't have to boast or drop a long rant. He just let his actions speak for themselves. By hitting that like button, he made it known that he was aware of everything that went down and that things were settled exactly how he wanted them. It was a silent but powerful message that everyone in the industry picked up on immediately. And those likes, they worked like warnings. They told every potential critic or clout chaser out there, think twice before mentioning YoungBoy's name disrespectfully. The internet might move on quickly, but YB don't forget. You never know when a past comment could come back around and put you in a situation you never planned for. The aftermath for Montana 700 has been rough. That old video and everything that followed completely shifted how people looked at him. Word spreads fast in the music world, and getting publicly embarrassed by someone as big as NBA YoungBoy isn't something that stays secret for long. Even without the actual footage going public, enough people have heard what happened to seriously hurt Montana's name in the streets and the scene. Montana's tough image, whatever credibility he built up, came crashing down after that one backstage moment. Everything he worked for in the streets and the studio got wiped out instantly. The fallout didn't just hurt his pride, it hit his career hard. Now other artists don't even want to be linked to him, especially when his issues involve someone as influential as NBA YoungBoy. Nobody wants that kind of drama following their name. Any potential collaborations he might have had lined up are now gone. His team probably had to go back to the drawing board, figuring out how to rebuild his image from scratch. How do you promote a rapper who just got embarrassed by one of the biggest names in the industry? How do you book shows when everyone knows there's history with an artist whose name carries real weight in the game? It's a tough spot, no doubt.
And let's be real, the mental toll must be heavy too. Being put in that situation, especially in front of other industry folks, would shake anyone's confidence. Every room he walks into now, people remember what went down in Dallas. The whispers, the side looks, that kind of thing doesn't fade easily. It changes how people treat you, how they see you, and even how you see yourself. But this story isn't just about two rappers and some old tension. It's bigger than that. What happened between NBA YoungBoy and Montana 700 is a real example of how respect and consequences work in hip-hop culture. It shows that words, especially disrespectful ones, don't just disappear because time passes. Montana probably thought that once he started finding success, and while YoungBoy was busy dealing with his own challenges, that old video would just fade into the background. But in hip-hop, disrespect doesn't expire. Especially when it's aimed at someone with YoungBoy's level of influence and memory, it always comes back around. This whole story also shines a light on how social media has completely changed the game.
Back in the day, if someone talked slick in a small circle, it might never reach the person they were talking about. But now, every clip, every comment, every live stream gets saved somewhere, waiting to resurface the moment you start gaining attention. Nothing really stays buried anymore. For upcoming artists, Montana's experience is a serious wake-up call, a reminder to think before you post or speak. That 2021 video probably felt harmless to him back then, just a hungry artist chasing views by talking about a bigger name. But that one reckless moment ended up costing him his respect and could very well derail his entire career. It's a tough lesson, but one a lot of people can learn from. This whole thing also shows how power dynamics work in the industry. When you're at the top, like YoungBoy, you get to decide when and how to respond to disrespect. You hold the control, the timing, and the platform. But when you're coming up, like Montana, you don't have that same luxury. Once the tables turn, you have to deal with whatever comes your way, and there's not much you can do to fight it. Montana 700 thought he could boost his career by taking shots at NBA YoungBoy, but instead, he created an enemy who ended up holding the power to tear down everything he'd worked for. What makes this whole thing even more serious is that Say Cheese, a platform known for dropping the biggest exclusives, refused to post the backstage footage. When a major outlet decides not to release content because it could cause real problems, you already know the situation went way beyond ordinary drama. Montana didn't just get called out, he got turned into a public example. For YoungBoy, this whole moment just reinforced his image as someone who doesn't forget and doesn't forgive when it comes to disrespect. And the way he handled it, pure confidence. Instead of ranting online or posting proof, he simply liked a few posts, letting everyone know he was aware, calm, and completely in control. That's real power. YoungBoy didn't have to say a single word. The internet did the talking for him. Everyone in the scene already understood what that quiet reaction meant. It instantly confirmed the story without him needing to explain a thing. The message here is simple but powerful. Respect is earned, but disrespect never fades. Montana 700 learned that lesson the hardest way possible. This story is one that'll probably follow Montana for the rest of his career, a constant reminder that in hip-hop, words can have real consequences. When you speak on someone's name, especially a major figure like NBA YoungBoy, it can come back around when you least expect it. Whether Montana can rebuild from this or not, one thing's for sure, he won't make the same mistake twice. This whole situation had it all: old drama, tension, and the kind of real-life consequences that make artists think twice before disrespecting the wrong person. It's a lesson in how quickly things can flip in the industry and how reputation can be built or broken overnight. If you've been locked into this breakdown, make sure to show some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment on what you think about this whole situation, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more wild behind-the-scenes stories from the hip-hop world. There's always more going on in the culture. New rivalries, unexpected twists, and shocking moments that keep the game unpredictable. Stay tuned, because the streets never stop talking, and I'll be right here bringing you the real stories every time.